And now, let us welcome our second contestant, Rowena Nidwaza, with her speech title, Experience. Rowena Nidwaza, Experience.
In one of the job interview I had some years ago, I was asked by the interviewer, "Okay, Rowena, what kind of salary package are you looking for?" Then I decided to shoot for the moon. And I replied, "Well, sir, what about salary of around 70,000 dirhams, depending on the benefits package?" Then the interviewer replied, "What about with 60 days paid annual leave, with 2 months bonus every year, plus a two years car list of car of your choice?" And I was so surprised, and I just said, "Wow, are you kidding?" And the interviewer told me, "Yes, but you started it." Madam Campus Chair, fellow Toastmasters and friends, tip number 1, don't shoot for the moon. Another interview I had, the interviewer asked me, "Rowena, what we need for this position is someone who is responsible." And I replied, "Sir, I'm the one you're looking for. You know, from the last company I've worked with, they told me that everything that went wrong in that company, I was responsible." Tip number 2, if you cannot convince them, confuse them. And then I was able to get into one company. It's a very good company. And on my first day, I called up my boss. And I said, "Sir, I'm sorry, but I cannot come to the office today. Something's wrong with my eyes." And my boss replied, "Why? What's wrong with your eyes?" I said, "Well, sir, I just cannot see. I cannot see myself coming to work today." Then it means I'm back again to looking for a job. And then what I did, I applied again. Another interview. And this time, I got in. I was able to get a job. But a week after, I was called in by my boss. And my boss was so angry, I could feel it. And he told me, "Rowena, when we hired you, you told us that you can do the AutoCAD drawing with 3D animation in 1 hour. But we just discovered that you cannot even do it at all." I replied, "Sir, when I applied for this position, you had in your advertisement that you needed someone with full imagination." I don't know who's right or wrong. But what's clear for me is that I am back again to looking for another job. You see, this is the difficult task about being jobless, because once you wake up in the morning, you're already on the job. And the hardest work is that being out of work. So I had another interview. This time, it's a panel interview. There were 4 of us lined up. And we are so tense, so nervous, we don't know what's going to happen, until the interviewer came in and looked at all the profiles and then looked at us. Then he came in front of me. He asked me to introduce myself. So I did. What a fantastic introduction. I knew I'll get the job. But the interviewer then thanked me and said, "Thank you, Rowena, and I wish you and the baby all the best." Baby? What baby? And then I replied to her, to that interviewer, "Sir, I just delivered the baby 13 years ago." So, next tip, be honest, tell the truth. It was 13 years ago. But then, luck comes in my way. I was able to get into another job. This time, I was lucky enough to stay there for weeks, months, until I reached 1 year. I began to love my boss, and I don't know whether he loves me as well. So I just consider that the feeling is mutual somehow. Then I decided to get into my demand on something. I felt that I have already done what I'm worth. I've reached there 1 year, imagine. So I went to his office, sat down there, told him, "Sir, it's about time that we talk straight. Because I needed a raise. Because there are already 3 companies after me and 4 that I just ignored." My boss was surprised. And he asked me, "Oh really, Rowena, can you at least share with us who are these 3 companies after you?" And I said, "Yes, sir. The electric company, the water company, and the telephone company." And then he asked me, "What about those 4 companies that you ignored?" "Sir, HSBC, FGB, Dunya Finance, and Barclays Bank." And I'm sure you know exactly what happened next. I'm out of work again. And this time, what I have learned after all this experience, you see, friends, if you have too many failed interviews, you could become a humorous speaker. Over to you, Madam.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster Rowena.